Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Monday. Today is the 16th. My brother turns 31
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Who sings that?
Which one?
Just another manic Monday.
I don't know who sings it.
My mom's favorite, Carly Simon.
Yeah, you should let them sing it.
That's my response.
I know, so I said it. So we had a pretty eventful weekend, man.
Yeah.
We what all did we do? We started out with
Deadlifts at dawn.
Deadlifts at dawn. So the Lincoln High School, right down the road, their head strength and conditioning coach reached out to me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in speaking to the kids?" And I'm like, "Absolutely. When's good for you?" And he said that they're doing a lock-in, which was like a team building lock-in event from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. On Friday to Saturday, where they were just at the field house doing all kinds of cool stuff.
The football team.
Yeah, football team. So we showed up at 5 a.m. on Saturday morning and introduced ourselves, and then we put them through like a full-body ringer. We had, I think, 6 different stations. There was like 22, 25 kids, and then we broke it up.
5 stations.
Dumbbell lunges,
Yep.
conventional deadlifts with barbell, barbell bench press, standing military press, and then like supersetting bicep curls with dumbbell and tricep extensions with a dumbbell.
Yep.
And that was good. We broke it up. We had like 4 sets per group, and we had them doing all that. They were pretty whooped. I mean, they'd been up all night at that point.
Yeah, you could tell they were just dragging. Some of them had gone. Some of them had taken a little nap. Some of them had not. They've been up since the day before. So, a few of the guys that were in my group said they were definitely going to bed when they got home.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun was starting to come up as we were working them out, because they have a big overhead openable door into their facility, so we could see. It was getting light out. By the time we were done, of course, it was, daybreak was there, so it was cool.
Yeah.
They I think they appreciated it. They valued it. They respected it. We had a good conversation after.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I feel like, we talked nutrition a little bit after that. They had some mindset questions for us, and it was just cool talking to people that are so young and influential, and like their trajectory could go so many different ways at this stage in their life. So talked about the importance of not taking steroids, especially at that young age. How much emphasis should they place on supplements or not? How important is real quality food, training, consistency, sleep and recovery, just all the basic stuff, but the things that I think they need to hear. And Lincoln is such a small town, and I feel like a lot of these, what are we watching here? Like the surfer birds. But like a lot of those kids, like the football coach was saying, like they don't have a father figure. Like they don't have a role model. They don't have a positive, father figure in their life. And I'm certainly not trying to be that for them, but like just being a voice of reason that's coming from a positive place that is encouraging, I think, is what they could benefit from.
Yeah.
So I told the coach, hey man, anything that we could do to help, contribute all the more for the youth, local community, I'm all about it. So I think you'll have us do that probably again. So I told them that they should do a tour out here, like bring the kids out here for a field trip, show the facility, show where we make the bricks. We gave them all a brick at the end. So it was
a
cool.
bunch of them were asking, if they wanted to buy a box. A couple of the kids even said, "Hey, we should go together and we should get a box of these." So maybe they're down to come check them out and grab some samples. And
I think they started the lock-in with pizza and then ended it with a brick.
Yeah.
So definitely don't have their nutrition dialed in just yet, but something to work on.
That's true.
And then immediately after the lock-in, Deadlifts at Dawn, I ran back here to the compound, got a quick shower. Ralph met me here, and then he and I went to the university. Ellen met us there, and you met us there, because we had Joe Wilson's Northwest Arkansas Natural Bodybuilding Championships from 10 to 2. Doors open for us as vendors at 8. So we got the booth set up, and then doors are open at 9. Competition started at 10. They had, it wasn't a huge show, but they had, bikini, figure, physique, classic physique, one bodybuilding competitor, and then they had a transformation. Yep. Then they had like a pump
kids,
off. They had
kids
like a little
flex thing too.
Kid flex thing, which was pretty cool. That was honestly like my favorite part. And they had like a pump off thing that was used as a donation for the school, I think, one of the schools locally. But it was like as many bench press reps that you can do at a certain weight based off of your body weight, and as many strict curls as you could do. And I think the first place winner got $200. Second place, bucks, and third place
money back
from the entrance fee
for each category.
For each category.
That was cool. There was quite a few people performing in that too.
There was more people in that than the actual competition.
Yep. So the audience was pretty good size.
Yeah, there's probably, I don't know, what would you guess?
Like got to have a couple hundred people there.
Yeah. A couple hundred people there. And like I was honestly pretty impressed by the teen division, because like they had a teen division, and that's honestly where the majority of the competitors were. And it was the was it classic teen? I think it was classic bodybuilding teen division. And there's probably, how many competitors do you think were on stage then? Like 7 or 8?
I want to say 7 or 8. Yeah, it was a pretty decent size,
pretty stacked
competitive
class.
Yeah.
And like that
for being
one
that
dude,
age was
awesome. I mean, they all were super impressive for teens, but that one guy that won it, I'm like, man, this guy's got a lot of potential.
Yeah,
they all have got a lot of potential. Yeah. So it was cool seeing people that young getting into the sport and just rocking it. And I did competitor interviews after the show, so talked to some of the competitors afterwards. That was cool. But yeah, it was a good ordeal. It got me stoked to promote our show, and I feel like it got you stoked to get dialed in this last little bit for the home stretch of your competition prep season. So for me, when I'm watching a show but not competing, it always like gets me in the right headspace to pull out all the stops.
It puts me in the right headspace to kind of reignites that motivation when you see other competitors, because you're thinking, okay, you're seeing it from the audience perspective. When you're up there, you're seeing it from a competitor's perspective. So when you get to kind of flip-flop roles, it's pretty nice, motivating. A lot of the guys that you interviewed and a lot of the guys that were in all those classic categories, that was their first show.
Yeah.
So they, like I was telling Ellen, like we've been telling Ralph, like it's intimidating, it's scary, but once you get backstage, like once you get there, once you even get to the host hotel, or you just get into the area with other competitors that are all gearing up for the same event, and you start interacting with them, they're just like you. They've gone through some crazy changes and had a hard prep, and they've made some sacrifices in these commitments and everything. And they're not perfect. You're not perfect. You're scared. They're scared. You're encouraging one another. You're respectful of one another, and it's just really a positive atmosphere.
Yeah,
you're not looking at the other competitors like, I'm just going to kick your ass. You're going down. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat all you guys. No, you're there, and you're like supporting them all, and like, getting along like friends.
Yeah, I mean, every show's got its own vibe, and like I don't want to generalize too much here, but like it seems to me, because I've done NPC shows, I've done tested, non-tested shows, but generally speaking, it seems like there's a lot more friendly camaraderie, positive vibe in the natural federations.
I would 100% agree with that.
I mean, I'm sure there's some amazing NPC non-tested shows where that's the case as well. But like from a competitive standpoint, I've enjoyed competing in the natural federations way more than the non-tested shows.
Same.
Because I feel like everybody's just,
it's more of a level playing field.
Yeah, it's more of a level playing field, and there's just, it seems to be like there's less ego involved. Because when you start, again, I don't want to get in the waters of generalizations here, but like when you start getting into a lot of the non-tested, PED federations, you get like these click competitors where like there's like these teams, and it's all based off of what gym you go to or what team you're with, and a lot of it's based off of like they're all running the same drug circles, getting their gear from the same spot, and then it becomes like this ego thing, because it's like, okay, you got to cycle this stack, or you got to use this drug to bring in this level of conditioning. So it becomes like each gym or each team has their own science experiment going on, and they're all trying to like out-science the other team, and there's just so much ego involved, and then it's like just negative energy vibes backstage. Whereas like in natural federations, nobody's doing any of that stuff. I mean, everybody's got their own nutritional protocol and peaking strategy, but it's not really a science experiment from a drug standpoint. So it's like, I mean, I've been backstage where competitors that were about to go against one another are like helping each other apply a tanning solution.
Absolutely. Yep.
It's like they want everyone to look their best because they want to beat them at their best. And that's how I always want to be. Like the people that I'm looking to beat, I want them to bring their best package so that I can feel that much better about ripping their freaking head off. Now it's all positive. Like I'll be happy, smiles, go lucky, like shake their hand and put their tan on. But like when I'm up on stage, like make no mistake, like I'm going to win, but I want you to be at your absolute best. Anything I can help bring that out in you, that's what I want to do. Like when you and I compete against each other in 2027 potentially, if you have me as a coach then, like I'm going to be like wanting you to be freaking sharp as a tack, man. I'm not going to be trying to sabotage your macros because I want you to be the best you can be because I want to beat you at the best you can be.
What if I slash your tires?
Well, that would just be not cool, not cool at all.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, you know what would be worse than getting my tires slashed? Is like getting my brakes redone and then having like my tire just roll off.
Our media guy Chip had that happen this past.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
Was it this weekend or last week? Last week. Last week.
Yeah, not
his
good.
brakes done and they didn't secure the lugs to some extent, and the tire flew off on the highway.
Yeah, that is just not good. I had some crazy nonsensical stuff happen this weekend too, or just like frustrating stuff like that. I mean, obviously, I'm glad Chip's okay and safe. Like that's a huge headache. Like you're stranded. I hate inefficiencies. Inefficiencies are my biggest frustration. But I told you this, but one of my really good friends, former employee Brandon Clark, who's been on the podcast. His son, John Clark, his oldest son, he's got a million kids. He got like 6. I lost count, 6 or 7 kids.
He's
got a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
But John's his oldest son and super good guy. He spent 2 weeks in Israel, and they were about to fly back on Saturday or Sunday. I think Saturday. Maybe it's Friday. They were about to fly back home on Friday or Saturday. And then that's when Israel shot rockets at Iran, and then all the airspace got shut down, so no flights going in and out. So he's been stuck in Israel for the past, 14, 15, 16 days, hanging out in bomb shelters. I've been talking to Brandon, getting updates on him, but he's been like awake for 3 days straight because every time he like tries to lay down, they're moving him to another bomb shelter, or like he's sending videos of footage 20 miles down the road. Like 4 people were killed, a family was killed that he knew. Like it's just crazy.
Holy cow.
And I'm thinking about it in terms of like Brandon's standpoint, like his oldest son, his freaking son is in a war zone. I just imagine if I was in his position and Rigel was in there,
right.
Like just crazy.
Yeah. How would you even sleep?
No, I don't know what I would do, man. But things like that, like make you realize what matters in life.
Yeah.
It's just, I've been thinking about him, hoping for him, praying for the best and all that stuff. But man, it's just scary. Just scary.
It is scary.
What else is new? On a positive note, we just got done doing progress photos and pictures, posing. Everybody's getting sharper, man. You're looking leaner. Ralph's looking good. Ellen's looking good. Your macros are getting pretty low. You're going to get under 200 this week, though. I feel very confident. What would you this morning?
202.
202.
Body weight. Yeah.
Body weight. And we dropped your protein 5 more grams this week. So you'll be probably at 199 by week's end. How many milligrams sodium you doing?
I'm right around 7,000. I'm trying to keep it consistent now that we're kind of coming into the tail end. So it's been very consistently right at 7,000, give or take 100 or 2.
Yeah. So we'll get you under 200 this week, and then we'll probably start doing our first trial refeeds next week. So we'll bump up sodium a little bit. We'll be conservative with the refeeding increase. It'll be an increase, but it'll be a relatively conservative increase. And then we'll probably keep those going throughout the remainder of your prep based off of how your body's doing. So that's something to look forward to.
So I can just go to Domino's on Friday?
Yeah, Domino's for sure. Domino's on Friday.
I'll probably do the fathead pizzas.
Oh yeah, man, the fathead pizza is the way to go.
Yeah,
that's my jam.
Yep.
That's
I've been doing OMADs now. Today is beef, butter, eggs. Some of that.
What time are you going to do your meal?
Probably as soon as we wrap up here. I'm pretty hungry. I'm hungry, cold, and tired right now. So
hungry, cold, and tired.
Yep.
It's weird because I'm doing this experiment. I don't think we ever talked about the blood work on this.
I don't remember. We talked a little bit about some of that, maybe body comp stuff, but not blood work.
It's distracting for me. We've got
a fisherman.
Yeah, which I'm all about fishermen, but how do I?
It's stunning 4K underwater nature footage.
How do I?
Just turn it off if you want.
I like the ambient look. But I need.
That's just like the random background.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna do
Is it working? We're going to do a full-blown recap on blood work after...
At the tail end. After you do your...
And I am curious to see what that pans out, because I got all of those panels done, and then I started this FGF21 experiment, experiment. Yeah. And we'll do that for 5 weeks. I did it for 1 straight week. I'm going into the second of 5 weeks now. Nick Norwitz and I are doing it together. Maybe a couple other people doing it. But it's kind of weird because there was another study done on this exact protocol. We're kind of replicating that study. But I had already been dropping my calories to lose that weight. So I had already gone from like 200 pounds to 176, 177 at my lowest, down to about 2,500 calories. Not much of a deficit, but a little bit of a deficit. And then I had like 2 high days, probably around 5,000. And then like a week kind of stabilizing at 3,000, which is roughly my maintenance. So my weight after those 2 high days had actually bumped up to like 184, 185. And then I started the experiment. And then that was week 1 of the experiment. I did 4,000 calories pretty much as an average, 4,000 to 4,200, but like 86, 87% fat ratio. So we'll do a full-blown recap on this whole experiment, but just as a teaser, it's interesting because from an FGF21 standpoint, that is increased more so in the context of diminished protein intake than sugar consumption. Right. So like my protein's been very low, like 75 to 90 grams a day pretty much, which is crazy low. But I'm eating 4,000 calories a day. So I'm just like eating a bunch of fat, which I'm all for, but I like having more protein than I'm currently consuming. So it's been interesting. My weight's gone up a little bit, but I think a lot of that increase has been simply because I'm eating way more food than I was at the end of that deficit.
Sure.
But I mean, like I went from 2,500 to 4,200, and I'm not really going up that much in weight, probably within 5 pounds. And
you're tracking body fat too?
Yeah, I'm tracking body fat too. And I'll probably do like an updated DEXA by the end of it all. And it's hard to know with the body fat because like it'll show the water retention is changing right now because the fat ratio is so high. So like I'm probably flushing out a little bit more fluid. So it's showing a decrease in lean mass because of that loss of fluid weight, which is then showing an increase in body fat and a drop in muscle tissue. But none of my lifts have gone down. So I don't think I've actually lost skeletal muscle tissue. I don't think this low of protein is optimal for building more muscle. But it's weird from like an energy standpoint because I've got so much energy coming in. Like I'm doing 400 grams of fat a day.
That's crazy.
Which is a lot of fat. Yeah. But it's almost like I don't normally use vehicle analogies with humans because we're not machines, obviously. But it's kind of like when you're giving a vehicle so much fuel, it kind of like, you flood it, you stall it out basically. And I feel kind of like that. Like I feel like I've got so much energy coming in that I'm not possibly using it all. And I'm actually like more tired almost because I got so much fuel coming in. I don't need it all.
Yeah.
Spilling
over.
Yeah, I'm spilling over. Like I would rather eat 3,000 calories at this high fat ratio. But if I was to eat 3,000 calories at this high fat ratio, I would have hardly any volume whatsoever. And I would be just starving because there's not very much food volume. I mean, when you're only getting 75, 80 grams of protein, there's not much volume there.
No, that's pretty minimal.
Super minimal.
And your carbs are what? Just...
My carbs are a little higher because just to trace sources, like I've been doing some kimchi and pickles to get more volume. So like those carbs, which is pretty negligible. And then I'll be doing like 2 bricks a day. So I'm getting the trace carbs and the keto bricks to get that fat up higher. So my carbs have been like 45 to 50, mostly coming from the bricks, some nuts, and then like kimchi and stuff.
But they're all trace carbs. And in the big picture, there's what's the ratio? What's the percentage of your actual total calories coming from carbs?
It's like 4%.
I was gonna say it's still got to be like 5% or less.
Yeah, let me look. So like for instance, yesterday I had 4,043 calories, and carbs were 4%, protein was 9%, fat was 87%. Yesterday I did not have a brick. What I've been eating to really get the fat in has been those cod liver. Canned cod liver.
I saw that big pile of them on the desk here.
Yeah, those are good, man. So my go-to meals, I'll get 300 grams of cauliflower rice. That's where another source of my carbs are coming from. So cauliflower rice, I'll cook that in a skillet with 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of ghee. And then I'll pour in a can of cod liver, which is incredibly high in vitamin A and all kinds of other nutrients. And then I'll, depending on macros, scramble in an egg or 2 or 3 or 4. And that's super tasty. It's kind of like hash browns. Like it's the same texture and consistency as hash browns. And I put some seasoning in there, and that's like super tasty.
Interesting.
But it's, again, just not a whole lot of food volume for what I prefer. I'm excited to just tear open some chicken wings, and I'm probably gonna go to Fogo de Chao after this is over and just like eat a bunch of meat because I just want to eat meat.
Yeah, that'd be a good place to go. So what is your sodium at then for this?
Sodium?
Are you keeping it?
I'm not
consistent?
really tracking my sodium so much, but let's see.
Because is there a lot in cod liver?
Not too much. My sodium that's getting tracked is showing to be about 3,400, but that's not counting what I'm adding to my food or the electrolytes I'm drinking.
Okay,
so I'm probably around 7 to 10,000 milligrams. And it's funny because like I'm not really learning anything because I already knew all this stuff going in.
You're just proving it.
I'm just proving it. Like I already knew that I wouldn't lose that much muscle because I went super low with the protein with my first keto prep. I already knew that I wouldn't gain much weight because this is having a positive effect metabolically speaking. I already knew that it wasn't going to be the sugar, but more so the minimum protein and amino acids that contributed to this. I knew what the cognition was going to be. I knew that my glucose was going to be lowered and my blood ketones was going to increase. Like I knew all of this stuff. But like because of the hype of the sugar diet, I just wanted to kind of like illustrate it from an opposite approach standpoint. The one thing I don't know, which I'm pretty curious, I've got some theories, but the thing I don't know that I'm curious to see what actually pans out is what my blood work looks like from a lipid standpoint after 5 weeks of eating 4 to 1.
Yeah.
That will be 4 to 1 in the context of this much of a surplus. Because with my maintenance being like 3,000 calories, I'm effectively eating 4,000 calories as an average, so 1,000 more than my baseline. So that will be interesting to see what it does to my blood work.
Yeah.
But that'll be the only thing that's like I didn't, know for sure going in. So we'll see. I mean, honestly, I'm just frustrated that the sugar diet's become so popular with people's very short-sighted views of it all. But I don't know. It is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, it keeps gaining more and more traction. I think more and more people are hopping on that bandwagon, and we'll see. I mean, it's got to, the bubble's got to burst at some point here.
Yeah,
it can't go forever.
I mean, there's just. Yeah, I mean, we've already talked about it at length, so I don't need to beat a dead horse anymore. But yeah, I mean, you got to play the long game with anything. You got to think about what you're doing locally in your environment, your local food supply system, and it's like, yeah, I just can't get behind any of the messaging.
You want to feed some inflammation while you're at it too?
Yeah, exactly. What else is new and exciting in your world?
Not a whole lot, just prep. I mean, that's pretty time consuming. Everything you eat, breathe, sleep, do. You're cooking food, prepping food, bringing food with you, working out, doing cardio, trying to get sleep, trying to balance all the things.
Yep. How is your sleep right now?
Crappy.
Well,
it's decent. When I have a chance to get adequate sleep and the environment is correct, I sleep good. I sleep super, super good. But last night, one of my little dogs, for some reason, woke me up middle of the night, had to go outside and did his business. And then he woke me up 40 minutes before my alarm. So that's like that window where do you try to go back to sleep for 40 minutes or do you just say, screw it, I'm going to get up 40 minutes earlier? Well, I just said, screw it, got up 40 minutes earlier. So I've been up since like 2:20, 2:30 this morning. So I prepped some dog food because I cook them chicken and beef and I try to minimize the amount of just store-bought kibble that they eat. They can eat it if they get hungry, but they really love the chicken and the beef. So I made them some dog food, got some stuff done around home, and went to the gym. And then I got to the gym left for the gym. It was before 4 when I left for the gym. Then I saw you at 5. So it was almost 2 hours at the gym this morning.
Yeah, you got your cardio done, huh?
Yeah, so I'm tired. I'm ready for lunch.
Yeah, it's well, you and I woke up at about the same time then, because Crystal had Rigel potty trained when he was like 1 year old. Like it was legit. Like, she was super impressive with it. But when he's sleeping, sometimes it's hit or miss. Mm-hmm. So like he
goes at night. He goes in the bed.
Yeah. So like and not every night, but like some nights he'll be just so zonked out, and he'll wear a diaper. We'll put him in a diaper before he goes to bed. He doesn't wear one through the day anymore, but he'll wear one before he goes to sleep.
Sure.
And but like he drinks so much water. Like he drinks probably more water than I do, and he's 35 pounds. It's crazy how much water he drinks. But he'll drink a whole bunch of it right before he goes to sleep. And if he's like out, he'll not even wake up. He'll just pee. It'll pee so much that it soaks through the diaper.
Oh, geez.
And then it's in the bed. And because we got Hazen coming any day now, we tried to move our sleeping pattern. So we got our king bed, and then we had his crib bed next to us. I was sleeping on the far side, furthest from him, with the gun right by on my nightstand. Crystal was sleeping in the middle, and he was on his bed. But with Hazen coming, we wanted like each side to have a little bassinet crib thing. And so Crystal's going to be with Hazen, and I decided to sleep over there with Rigel. So he's been sleeping right next to me, and I've always wanted to cuddle with him, and he'd always never cuddle with me because it's all about cuddling with mom. So I'm like, all right, you want to cuddle with me? Let's just cuddle. So like he'll just be laying on me, and we'll go to sleep, and then he'll just pee. So like for the past 3 consecutive nights, I've just been peed on at like 2 o'clock in the morning. That seems to be when it happens. Mm-hmm. So same situation as you, man, except my dogs are fine. My son's the one.
He's the one peeing. Oh, man.
So yeah, he peed on me. I was covered in pee. I'm like, man, it's 2 o'clock. What do I do? My alarm's set for 3.
Yep.
So I like got a towel, laid the towel down, laid there for a minute, got up, took a shower, and then went to the gym and came back and took another shower. So yeah, sleep's a pain.
Yep. But it's so vital. Like if you don't, it just
man.
ruins the whole day, the week, everything. If you don't get rest.
What kind of mattress do you have? You like your mattress?
I don't remember the brand of mine. It's one of those foam ones that you order online. No, it's like a, I forget what it was called. One of the nicer ones. You ordered it online and it comes in a huge box.
Like the purple or ghost?
Something like that. Yeah. It wasn't the purple one, but it was something like that. But then I also have might have been.
Yeah.
Got a grounding sheet on it too.
Because I bought my mattress. Mine's one of those iComfort foam mattresses.
Okay.
And I bought it 10 years ago. Because I bought it after I graduated college. Went to the railroad in Washington. I bought the mattress. That was the first thing that I bought. And it's over 10 years old. It's too soft, I think. I think I need a new mattress.
Yeah.
And when Hazen gets here, we're going to have the house temperature turned way up because he'll be such a young baby. And I'm going to be miserable if I can't find a way to cool down, especially if Rigel's snuggling with me and peeing on me. So I might actually pull the trigger and get one of those thermoregulating mattresses.
Yeah, where you can cool one side.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Because if I could do that, then I could still be cool even if the house is cranked up to like 79, 80 degrees. Because I would have it down to like 60 degrees if she would let me.
Yeah, I'm a hot sleeper. Like I go to bed cold, but this is also prep related. But I go to bed cold and then I wake up like just sweating. So
no fun.
Yeah.
No fun. And every time I go through a prep, I tell myself, all right, this time I'm going to optimize sleep. I'm not going to sacrifice it. It's going to be on point, dialed in. But every time I go through prep, it's like that's the thing that suffers the most.
Yeah.
I don't ever protect it like
it kind of hits the back burner.
Definitely hits the back burner. What else is exciting, man? We got a lot now that Joe's show is done. There's TJ's show next month, but you and I are going to really start promoting our show.
Yep.
Quite a bit more. We got the apparel that we're going to focus on, but we're probably going to hold off on really getting that dialed in until after the show. We're going to be working on some behind the scenes stuff for it before then, but it won't be public facing until probably after the show. And then we've just been rocking the restocks on the Keto Week, man. So
we got another one coming this weekend, another one the following weekend.
Yeah, so we just restocked Peanut Butter Hallelujah. That's my favorite brick, dude. Like people always ask me what is my favorite brick, and I'm pretty sure, at least at this stage, like I can definitively say that's it.
Yeah, I plugged half of one of those in my meal plan this week.
Have you had it yet?
No,
today the first day?
I'm gonna have it today.
Yeah, right.
I had a little cube of it like yesterday.
Yeah,
but I got 50% of a PB Hallelujah and 25% of a cookie dough, tallow cookie dough.
That one's pretty good too.
Yeah, they're both good. I couldn't pick one or the other, so I just grabbed a little bit of each.
Nice.
Yep.
You ought to try and put a little bit of that SCT oil. You have any fat in your macros at all? No.
She's maxed out.
You maxed out?
My macros are like 99% calories, fat, protein, and carbs are whatever, low.
You gotta try a little bit of that SCT oil at some point. Work that into your macros and try that with the brick. It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's really good.
All right.
But yeah, we've been rocking the restocks. This weekend will be milk and cookies restock. So excited about that. And then we got another one next weekend. And people have been ranting and raving about Primal Fudge, getting that back. And it's coming back. I'm going to tell people right now it's coming back.
A lot of it's coming back.
A lot of it is coming back. More than we've ever made before.
Yes.
So get ready, but that'll not be this month. So don't hold your breath.
Yeah. Because once that one comes back, oof, that's going in my meal plan. Big time.
Yeah, that's a good one too. That's a good one too. So yeah, all kinds of exciting things on the keto brick front. All kinds of exciting things everywhere. I mean, we'll be having a baby literally any day now. But we may have a baby by the time this podcast goes live. Who knows? So that's good. We need more people to comment and message on these Spotify and YouTube things.
Sure. For topic ideas.
Yeah.
We had a couple of them kind of trickling in over the last few weeks.
Yeah, we've had a few of them trickling in, and I'm probably going to do some of those AMA solo podcasts because I've got literally like 5 weeks where I don't have any guests booked because Crystal is having the baby. So I'll probably just have to do some solo episodes to fill the void. Sure. So I'll knock out some AMA style podcasts. That'd be good. All right, man. Well, how long are we at, Chip? 31 minutes. All right, let's go get you some lunch before you eat my fingers.
I'm going to eat.
Yeah, so let's go get some food. Some of your bricks.
Till
next time, Gregorone.
All right. See
Adios,
ya.
y'all.